I'm Eric Harley. We're at NATSO Connect 2019. Joining us right now from Cobblestone Hotels, we've got Brian Wogernese. Brian, welcome to the show. How are you, sir?
Well, thank you. Thank you for having us. Really happy to be here.
Also with you is Jeremy Griesbach. Jeremy, how are you doing?
I'm doing fine.
Thank you for being here. Let's talk about Cobblestone Hotels. Jeremy, fill us in on the Cobblestone Hotels and where we're going to find some locations here.
Sure. We're a brand that's based out of Neenah, Wisconsin. We're currently located, our brands are located in 26 states. We've got 134 locations open, 4 under construction, and about 30 to 40 more under development, and hopefully we'll be starting at least half of those construction-wise here by the end of the year. So.
Right. So, Brian, what brands or signs, I guess, are we going to be looking for in terms of those locations out there?
Well, primarily the ones that Jeremy's referring to, Cobblestones.
Okay.
So it's a brand we started back in 2008. There's almost 100 of them.
Sure.
We're in about, 27 states. Really, we're here to find new locations either for franchisees or corporate development for us right now.
Okay. And Jeremy, you were talking off the air, you and I talking about where these locations are. You're going to find them in smaller markets. You're not going to find them in the major metro areas. Talk about that mission statement, I guess, in that development part of it.
Yeah, our focus from the beginning has been bringing quality lodging to small town America.
Right.
And along the way, probably 6-7 years ago, we fell into developing a location in Iowa right off of I-80 next to a travel plaza.
Right.
And did pretty well. And then we got pulled into a second location near a travel
It's
plaza.
a Voca, by the way, if you happen to be in the neighborhood.
Voca, Iowa. And then we did a second one in Lamoni, Iowa, which is next to a travel plaza. And being the geniuses we are, that one did really good, after we got pulled there. And suddenly we started focusing on it. So we've got one in Steele, North Dakota, another one in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, and that are all near travel plazas. And, being the people a little slow like we are, we're like, hey, maybe this is something we should focus on and spend some time on. So here we are.
I would still be thinking of the connection. It would still take me longer.
Yeah.
But I think, Brian, this is, again, recognizing that need for lodging for those drivers that are out there on the nation's highways. What is it that you hope to do, you guys at Cobblestone hope to do in the future in providing more of that lodging?
Well, what we're trying to do is get into markets that need lodging. Probably doesn't need 100 rooms, 80 to 100 that some of the bigger national brands are going to want.
Yeah.
We're going to come in right around 40, 50 rooms.
Okay.
I think our prototype we're shooting for is right around 54 rooms.
Okay.
Makes more sense. 80 to 90 doesn't, but it's giving that mid-scale. Now, not economy, because there's plenty of economy stuff out there, but it's new build mid-scale. And people are willing, they're looking for that, but they're also looking for the services from the travel centers.
Yeah.
Is there some fast food there? Are there food options? And then we try to get close to them so it really looks like it's part of the whole complex, even though somebody else might own the hotel or we might whatever. So.
Right. And Jeremy, I think that is certainly a sound mission statement. If you talk about the touristy areas, we happen to be in the center of one right now in Orlando here, and someone mentioned it's 72 million tourists that visit this really small town. If you think about it, it's not a major city, but 72 million people coming in. Then you're going to look for all these different amenities for Cobblestone. That connection, of course, to the travel plazas and truck stops and being in those regions makes sense because you're offering one more option in that stop where a driver is maybe doing their planning or a small fleet doing their planning, and they realize, okay, we've got something here where you can fuel up, you can stop down overnight, and then we can get you back on the road. What kind of outreach, I guess, is there at this point with those owner-operators or those small fleets in terms of the awareness side of it? How do you guys reach out to the driving community?
Well, being in the hotel industry, most of our marketing is done through the internet mediums that are out there, the different travel websites.
Right.
A lot of these trucking companies are part of bigger organizations that work with a organization called CLC, Corporate Lodging Corporation.
Yeah.
And we do accept the CLC rates at our locations and the whatnot. So, it's been a nice partnership or relationship there. And then the other thing that's really been interesting for us is obviously while the driver was kind of our focus when we built these facilities, where we've seen even more benefit from it is travel plazas today aren't like what travel plazas were 30, 40 years ago when I was driving around the country with my parents on vacation. I mean, now they're almost entertainment facilities.
Right.
Or, I don't know the exact right word to use.
Yeah,
but,
you can spend a lot of time in there, I'll tell you that,
there's multiple
right?
restaurants, stores, and everything else.
Yeah.
So if you put a nice hotel next to it, suddenly someone, is willing to get off there and, spend the night there, even if they're not a trucker, if they're just a family driving across the state or the country, because there are all the amenities from the travel plaza that benefit the hotel guests, and it's, they can walk over there. They don't have to get back in their car. They can find a place to eat dinner and everything else. So it really makes it's been complimentary on both sides.
Yeah, Brian, I think it works like it would work with a driver. You talk about kind of that one stop where you can take care of everything, and it makes sense. And also the idea of not being in a major metro area. I can tell you as a dad and a grandfather, sometimes the planning on if you're going to go to a destination can, get a little worrisome because you're having to deal with a lot of the things in the major metro areas. In this case, you can plan that trip if you're out there on a vacation, or if you drive for a living, you can plan that a little better and have those amenities, all those amenities you need right there in that one central location. What kind of feedback have you guys gotten from the driving public out there that's staying at those hotels so far?
Well, and that's what we're looking for, is that one stop. Tom Hines, for instance, he has a coffee cup out in Steele, North Dakota. We built a hotel right across the street from his, so it's you can stop in, you can get a coffee at Caribou, you can get pizza at Pizza Hut, fuel up with him, stay with us, refreshed, back on the road.
Yeah,
and those are really the amenities that we're looking for when we're trying to select these sites. Just a standalone gas station probably isn't going to do it. It has to have a little more meat to it nowadays.
Right. Sure. And Jeremy, if they want to learn more about Cobblestone, where do they go? How do they find you guys?
The internet seems to be the way of the world, so
Sure.
I'm slowly adapting to that personally, but professionally, our team's done a great job. But staycobblestone.com is our website. There's franchising information there. You can book rooms at any of our locations through that site throughout the 27 states we're in, and there's all kinds of information on there from a development standpoint also in the brand.
Brian, any final message for the owner-operator or maybe fleet owner even out there from Cobblestone that you'd like to share?
Well, I always do that. Every grand opening I do this, and I know my staff thinks it's cheesy now, and they're probably sick of the same old joke, but I stand there and say, hey, 5 years ago, how many people heard of Cobblestone? And nobody did. And then I say, how many people heard of it now? And, there's 50 people in the room. So just getting the word out there. It's just like every brand, getting the word out there, what the brand is.
Right.
Cobblestone is an all-new build brand. So it's the product's been consistent. We're leaning towards keeping it that way and want it to be a consistent brand. Our oldest hotels are only 10 years old, so starting to go back through those, refresh them. But I guess the biggest thing is consistency, clean, friendly. The bedding and the breakfast, especially at these locations, that's the big thing. It's a hot shower. It's a nice bed, and it's some fresh eggs in the morning.
Yeah, there you go. Thank you so much, guys. We appreciate it, and we hope you'll come back and share some more information with us.
Well, we're going to be back. It's what, snowed 10 inches up in Wisconsin, so I might be here for another month or so. If you need me.
We'll meet you here tomorrow.
Hanging out in Florida with us. Thank you so much. We appreciate it, Jeremy, Brian. We enjoy the rest of the show. Thank you.
Thanks for having us.